Welcome to this training session on customizing researcher profiles in Esploro. Researcher profiles are where people inside and outside your institution can learn about researchers at your institution, including seeing their research output or assets and learning more about the researcher's interests and background. Researchers can customize their Esploro profile for themselves, and they can assign another person, a proxy, to customize it for them. Those techniques are discussed in other training sessions. However, library and research office staff can also make these changes, so that researchers themselves only have to manage what they want to in their profiles. That is what this training session will cover. From the home page, select the Research menu and choose Manage Researchers. By the way, you need to have the Researcher Manager's role to see this tool. Contact your institution's Esploro administrators to get that role. Find the researcher directly on the table of researchers or use the persistent search box at the top. The page that opens is the Researcher Profile tab. Below the User Information section, which is common to all users in this system, is the Researcher Settings section. This allows you to select whether this researcher appears in the researcher portal at all, whether this researcher can access researcher profiles and edit their own or other profiles, and so on. Current and previous affiliations are the internal or external research organizations with which the researcher is or has been affiliated, including start and end dates, relevant position, title, and so on. You can select one or more predefined research topics to associate with the researcher, or create your own keywords if the predefined research topics are not sufficient. The Areas of Interest section is a free-form text box to explain research subjects in more detail. The rest of the fields are pretty self-explanatory. Finally, at the bottom, you can add a photo that will be visible to anyone who searches in the researcher portal. Most of the other tabs have general user information, such as the Contact Information tab with addresses, phone numbers, and email addresses. The Identifiers tab contains things like this user's ORCID and other research IDs, and any other IDs your institution uses. The Attachments tab can store any files related to this user. The Researcher Proxies tab is where you can assign someone else, a proxy, to make changes to a researcher's profile from within the Esploro Researcher portal itself. This tab is discussed in detail in a separate training session. Finally, the History tab shows key changes made to this profile, including who made the changes. Be sure to save the profile when you're done. Changes go into effect immediately in the Researcher portal. And that's how you can customize researcher profiles in Esploro.